Happy new moon and solar eclipse in Capricorn. This new moon becomes exact on Thursday, December 26th at 12:13 a.m. New York time, which is also 5:13 Greenwich Mean Time, and actually is Christmas on the west coast of the United States. Pretty cool. And the eclipse reaches its maximum, its peak, just a few minutes after the new moon becomes exact. Well, here it is, my friends. Eclipse season is upon us. What an exciting time to be alive as we are witnessing these massive energetic changes go down, shifting us both individually and collectively. The energies that have been streaming in over the past 2 weeks have been literally unprecedented in strength. I know so many of you have been reporting that you've been feeling from depressed and lethargic to blissful and charged and everything in between. Eclipses carry with them codes of upgrades that will set our course for approximately the next 6 months following the eclipse. This is a South Node Eclipse, which helps us to release attachments and energies that are no longer of service to us. It is as if during this eclipse your soul will step in and sweep away all the things that are holding you back from evolving into who you are meant to become in 2020 and beyond. Solar eclipses are a great time to take stock of your life and figure out what kind of changes need to take place. The sun is the masculine energy that illuminates what's going on in your outer world, and when the sun goes dark for a few hours during the eclipse, it gives you the opportunity to see from a higher perspective what is and what isn't working, whether the eclipse is visible from your part of the world or not. As this is a solar eclipse in Capricorn, the focus is going to be on getting the day-to-day reality of your life in line with a life that will support the development of your highest possible future self. We can no longer ignore the things that are screaming in our faces to be dealt with. This is especially relevant when it comes to dealing with practical, physical, 3D matters like health, career, relationships, and finances. 2020 may end up being somewhat of a trying year for many people, as there is so much Capricorn energy afloat that it will force a lot of issues to the surface, especially those surrounding health, career, and finances. We currently have Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto all currently in Capricorn, where they will all reside for much of 2020. Here are some questions to ask yourself or journal on to help you deduce what kind of changes might need to be made in your life in order to put you on the highest possible path to a healthy, successful, and satisfying 2020. Do I feel like my current living environment is supporting my highest evolution? If not, then what type of environment would better support that? If I am in a partnership, do I feel like my partnership is supporting my highest evolution? If not, then what might be the highest possible resolution to this relationship? Do I feel like my current job or career is supporting my highest evolution? If not, then what might be the highest possible resolution to my career path? Do I feel like my mind is supporting my highest possible health and my highest possible evolution overall? And if not, then which chronic thought patterns might be holding me back? Do I feel like the 5 people that I spend the most time with or the most time talking to are supporting my highest possible path and highest possible evolution overall? If not, then what type of people would I like to attract into my inner circle of 5? What baggage am I currently carrying that has gotten too heavy for me to carry any longer? What changes do I feel like my higher self or soul is asking for me to make in 2020? Do I feel like my daily habits are currently supporting my highest possible health and highest possible evolution overall? If not, which supportive habits might I be able to add to my daily repertoire that would put me back on that highest possible path? And I'd encourage you, if you do have time now, to go ahead and pause this video and rewind a little bit and just listen to the questions again and start journaling on them, as if you journal on these questions, you're really going to get a tremendous amount of clarity on your life and on what needs to happen going forward. This new moon eclipse wants you to commit to new supportive rituals. So as it turns out, Aristotle didn't actually say you are what you repeatedly do, but regardless of the fact that this famous quote has been misattributed, it is still a wonderful piece of wisdom. If you want to make changes in your life, it requires repetition. And here's why. The subconscious mind actually manifests 95% of your reality. This part of your mind is formed pretty much completely between the ages of 0 and 7, and for most people it's even between the ages of 0 and 6. By the end of age 6, you're pretty much set, usually. And this is when our brains are predominantly in a theta wave state. So we have delta, theta, alpha, beta, and gamma brain waves, and your brain is always oscillating between one of those types of waves. And when we're young, our brains are mostly, as I said, in that theta wave state. And in the theta state, you are incredibly receptive. So the thoughts and beliefs of our parents, caregivers, and even the media end up forming the template of our subconscious mind. And if we don't do the healing work, the subconscious mind will continue to manifest the same sorts of problems and frustrations for us over and over again. We have very little leeway with the 5% or so of our thoughts that come from the input of the conscious mind. So that's why making lasting changes in your life requires a lot of repetition. This South Node Eclipse is going to certainly show you which sorts of activities and addictions that have become a normal part of your life are going to continue to slow you down if you can't shake off these bad habits. Once you've figured out those daily activities that aren't supporting your highest evolution, and again, it might be a good point to pause the video now and just make a list. Which activities am I taking part of on a daily basis, on a weekly basis? Which addictions are still haunting me that are not serving me, right? And then, like, if you haven't already done, make a list of some new rituals, some new activities, some new daily habits that will support your highest evolution. It's as simple as that. And when you do implement those new supportive habits, that is going to start to chip away at the negative patterns that are hardened in the subconscious mind, which again controls 95% of your life. One of the overlooked principles of co-creation is that a small input can create a large output, meaning it only takes a few minutes per day of a new supportive ritual in order to make a significant change in your life. 10 minutes of meditation per day can completely rewire your nervous system and unravel PTSD. 30 minutes of exercise per day can help you lose 10 pounds or more in a short period of time. 5 minutes of mirror affirmations per day can make you into a completely new person with a new personality. It really can. A better personality. Happier, more joyful, more productive. A great way to start a new supportive ritual around this eclipse, and you can start tonight, is to begin a nightly gratitude journal. Make a list of 15 to 20 things or more that you are grateful for each night. What a fun activity if you've never done it. Which other new supportive rituals might you want to add to your daily routine? And again, if you'd like to stop the video here, you haven't done already, write down some of those habits right now that you're going to I would first brainstorm and then pick a few. When we try to overload ourselves, we end up usually doing none of them. Something that really helps me is this. I'll share this. I create a little chart each week with the rituals that I want to make sure I do every day. I have several meditations that I want to make myself do each day, and getting 30 minutes of exercise and things like that. And I make a little chart, and I place an X in each square when I complete the activity for the day. And I'm not expecting myself, honestly, to get a perfect score, but I like to see at the end of the week how many X's I filled up, and it feels good to see, the more X's, the better. And if you're a person who you think this type of thing will work for, one thing you can do is have a little self-reward system where if you fill in a certain number of boxes, you get to buy yourself a little gift, or you get to watch a new movie, or make some sort of sweet dessert or something like that. That can help a lot of people. It just depends on your personality. For me, that's not something that's really necessary, but it does work for a lot of people. So try that if that works. Merging of the divine masculine and divine feminine aspects. When Mother Moon covers Father Sun, it represents the merging of the divine masculine and divine feminine aspects, of course. The decade of the 2020s to come is what I'm calling the twin flame decade, as the number 2 is at the forefront, 2020, 2021, etc., right? It's the third decade, but it's the number 2 in front of the years. We will see the coming together of many amazing souls into divine union. The ascension process begins as an individual journey, of course, that all lightworkers must undergo solo, but at a certain point in most lightworkers' journeys, they're destined to meet and eventually merge with a twin flame. There's much confusion out there in internet circles on what actually constitutes a twin flame. There's a lot of confusion between the terms twin flame and karmic soulmate. However, I'll give you my definition. I do believe that in some cases the twin flame is literally another aspect of the same soul, while in other cases I do believe that the twin flame is a different soul originating from perhaps a similar place in this galaxy or another galaxy. This is where the whole Starseed paradigm comes in. I think a lot of twin flame couples are starseeds from the same place. Once the twin flame union happens for good, as oftentimes 1, 2, or more separations are necessary first, then the ascension of the couple as one merged energetic vessel becomes just as important as the continuous steps forward on the individual's respective ascension journeys. For many people, I call these the type 2 twin flames, several karmic soulmate relationships with other people are required before the person will be at the energetic frequency necessary to support the merging with their true twin flame. For most light workers, before even considering finding and merging with your true twin flame, you should first consider to what extent your own divine masculine and divine feminine aspects are balanced. This solar eclipse is offering us a grand cosmic reset that will give us the opportunity to become more whole, structured, and balanced than ever before if we allow the high-intensity cosmic frequencies to take away everything that is no longer serving our highest evolution. A great way to consider how balanced you are between the divine masculine and divine feminine aspects of yourself are to consider your relationships with your parents. If you didn't know one or both of your birth parents, then consider your relationships with your step-parents or whoever raised you. If your relationship with your father is especially imbalanced, then you have wounding on the masculine side. That will likely also cause you to embody aspects of the shadow feminine, especially if you are a woman. If your relationship with your mother is especially imbalanced, then you have wounding on the feminine side. That will likely also cause you to embody aspects of the shadow masculine, especially if you are a man. When your masculine aspect is correctly balanced and you are embodying the traits of the divine masculine, you are able to make plans and follow through. You are flexible and adapt well to change. Your intellect lines up with your intuition. You are decisive and are able to be a strong leader of others when necessary. Your life feels secure and safe, whether it is a more structured life or you live more of a vagabond existence. When your masculine aspect is imbalanced and you are embodying the traits of the shadow masculine, you might be paranoid, controlling, and narcissistic. You are probably insecure about your self-worth and thus may have a tendency to attempt to dominate others in order to feel powerful and safe. When your feminine aspect is correctly balanced and you are embodying the traits of the divine feminine, you are able to surrender outcomes to God. You are able to relax and take care of yourself. If it feels natural to nurture yourself and others. You feel safe being vulnerable, as much of an oxymoron as that might sound. When your feminine aspect is imbalanced and you are embodying the traits of the shadow feminine, you might feel victimized by life. You might be unable to set proper boundaries with others. You might be an energy vampire's favorite meal. You might be steeped in addiction. You likely have a very poor self-image and are lacking a sense of self-worth. If your divine masculine side feels out of whack, then your focus should be on creating constructive daily rituals, setting a lot of goals, and doing a lot of planning of the future. If your divine feminine side feels out of whack, then your focus should be on strengthening your self-image and sense of self-worth and learning how to speak up and have proper boundaries with friends, family, and with your own thoughts. Overcoming obstacles by accessing the spiritual warrior within. Capricorn brings a very masculine energy with it, as you can probably tell by now. The energies around this eclipse and the overarching energies of 2020, with so many planets in Capricorn, will bring out the spirit of the spiritual warrior within you if you allow them to. The spiritual warrior is an archetype that we all carry within. We have all had moments of courage in this lifetime, and in other lifetimes, we have all played characters who were extremely courageous in certain moments of those specific incarnations. Your soul has played a character that has saved someone else's life. Your soul has also possibly even played a character that has sacrificed his or her life to save someone else. Your soul has played characters who took huge risks that paid off handsomely. Your soul has played characters that overcame incredible obstacles to achieve amazing things or to garner some invaluable wisdom. The essence of the spiritual warrior is within you. Whatever obstacles are present in your reality right now are there for you to either overcome or to surrender to and gain invaluable wisdom from. Regardless of what is meant to happen, it is the spiritual warrior within that will be the part of you that will figure out exactly what you're meant to figure out. Here's some more questions to journal on, and these questions are specifically designed to help give you much needed clarity on your life during this eclipse. If I had to guess, what is life asking for me to learn from my current obstacles? Which virtues am I learning from my current difficulties? Which virtues am I learning? Courage? Am I learning forgiveness? Am I learning compassion? Am I learning strength? Self-love? There's so many possibilities there. How am I being shaped and formed into a new person through these difficulties? How might the new person that I'm being molded into be actually more readily able to accept and maintain an even better life than I am living now? Is it possible that my current difficulties are teaching me wisdom that I may be able to teach others either now or in the future? How can I start teaching others what I've already learned if I'm not doing so already? And this can happen in little ways, like reminding someone to love themselves. I'm wishing you a remarkably healing and expansive new moon and solar eclipse in Capricorn. With love, this is Matthew John. And if you're not familiar with who I am a spiritual teacher, spiritual mentor, international speaker, Starseed guide, intuitive healer, and quantum energy healer working directly with the Ascended Masters. I'm a gifted intuitive wisdom channeler and transmitter of healing frequencies. I've been on an over decade-long awakening journey. My powerful and effective teachings and healings are a product of many intense awakening experiences, deeply human ordeals, and tens of thousands of hours of study. I receive clear guidance from my guides, which I share with people around the world, and I'd invite you to check out my website. I have a whole library of videos and articles on there, totally for free. It is youaredivinehuman.org, youaredivinehuman.org, all spelled out. And you can also check out my options for private sessions. What I'm doing now is enrolling people for my very popular spiritual mentoring program to get started in January and February of 2020. And what a great way to get yourself going and launch into this epic new year by doing some deep spiritual work. What a great gift that would be for yourself. So I'm just going to very briefly go over what you get in these spiritual mentoring packages. There's a 4, 5, and a 6-session package. The 4-session package, in the first session, you get a 90-minute soul plan reading and spiritual mentoring session with me. What I'm going to do is connect with my guides and your spirit guides. I'm going to read your life plan and interpret for you from the perspective of your soul the meaning behind certain experiences from your past, what your soul lessons are in the present, and what life has in store for you in the future. I'm going to see your future on your highest possible path and tell you what it is that your soul really wants you to bring forth while you're here in a physical body. And we'll also do some mentoring around exactly what it is that I read for you and how you can best move forward. And if there are some relationships in your life that are troubling, I will read for you the karma that is being balanced in these relationships, any past life karma that's carried over, and how this karma might get alchemized and resolved in this lifetime. In the second session, what we do is a 90-minute or longer quantum energy healing and soul retrieval session, including an inner child healing and a cord cutting ceremony. This is a really comprehensive session of hands-on healing, working with a team of angels and with the Ascended Master realm to not only heal the inner child and to cut cords, to retrieve lost fragments of your soul, but also to work on each and every one of your main chakras to clean up your energy field completely from negative energies and anything that is attached to you, etc. In the third session, we do the intuitive nutrition reading and the chakra scan. And this is intended for your physical health. So if you're going through any sort of chronic health issues, or you just like to know how to optimize your health for both quality of life and longevity, I'm going to read for you. I'm going to do a body scan for you, a medical intuitive body scan. And I'm going to connect with my guides to get information about your health. We're going to go over everything you've gone through recently with your health, everything you're going through. And I'm going to put together a plan for you with food, supplements, meditations, affirmations, and more. And you will get in your email, usually within about 2 weeks after the session, you'll get an 8 to 11 page intuitive nutrition report that you can keep with you. It's a protocol you can keep with you as something to reference whenever you need into the future. You also will get a chakra report in your email within 2 weeks after the chakra scan. We do in the fourth session a Starseed discovery session. This is usually people's favorite session that we do, is you get to find out where you're from in the stars. So most people listening to me are Starseeds. There may be some exceptions, but most people are Starseeds, meaning your soul comes from the stars. And if you're not sure where you're from, or even if you think you know or you do know where you're from, this is still a great session to do because you get to travel to your home planet in your astral body to see it, to experience it, and to learn what exactly your Starseed mission is. So that's the 4-session package. We also do a little bit of homework in between sessions to supplement what we're doing on the calls. And you get 2 bonus webinars, 2 of my most popular webinars, Putting the Past in the Past and Mastering Your Intuition. 5-session package, you get all that plus a past life regression. And this past life regression, we travel to the most relevant past lives that your higher self would like for you to experience in order to better understand your current situation and the current karmic relationships you're dealing with. And we also travel, you get to travel to the space between lives too, which is really, really cool to see. The 6-session package, you get all of that, plus the past life regression, as I said, plus a future life progression where you get to travel forward in this lifetime into your future on certain points, specific points along your future timeline to experience your future, very specifically what is possible for what can possibly unfold in your life on that highest timeline. So you get that, and you get another additional 5 bonus webinars with the package C. So you're going to get 7 webinars in total, which is awesome, awesome, awesome. And you can check out all of that on my website again. Just scroll the mouse over private sessions, click on the first tab. It's Spiritual Mentoring, Awakening Coaching. That's where you can find the packages. If you have any questions about the packages or any questions about this new moon, the eclipse, about 2020, or a personal question that's a brief question, not going to be so in-depth that it would require reading. If it's a really in-depth question, I'll answer you. I'll just probably say that we would need to do a reading to get a lot of detail on that. But if it's a simple question, I'm happy to answer personal questions for people as well. All you have to do is go to my website. Again, it's youradivinehuman.org. There's a tab that pops up in the bottom right corner of the screen. It's got my picture. It says Matthew John, have questions, ask Matthew. So just click on that tab and type in your question and your email, and I will get back to you usually within about a day. Okay? So thank you, everyone, for listening, and I look forward to speaking to you again on the upcoming full moon and eclipse in 2 weeks. Enjoy yourselves. Stay hydrated. Try to do some grounding. Get out in nature if you can. Play with your animals. Hug your loved ones. When the eclipse is actually passing, what I recommend is to just relax. Just really relax and meditate. Even sleep. Just relax, relax, relax during the eclipse. Don't try to do too much. Don't try to make any huge plans while the eclipse is actually happening, while it's happening overhead or even halfway around the world. Just wait. I personally, I never do healing work, or I never go for a session with one of my healers while the eclipse is actually happening, because it's a very weird time energetically, and you just want to relax. Just relax, take it easy, and don't make any big decisions, or don't try to figure your whole life out during the eclipse. Leave that for a couple days after the eclipse, so things will get clearer, especially 48 to 72 hours after the eclipse. So the other thing you can do is set some intentions. A new moon eclipse is a powerful time to set intentions for 6 months. So you want to think about what you want to create in your life over the next 6 months. So what you want to see manifest by next eclipse season coming up in the middle of 2020. And just write it in as complete of a list as you can come up with, and either put it in your wallet or your purse, or put it by your bed, or somewhere where you can access it again, or even on your phone and your notes in a couple months, and see how you're doing with that. Okay? So, best of luck on this eclipse. Be well, relax, rest, as I said, and wishing you my love. Thank you so much for listening. I'll talk to you again in 2 weeks. This has been Matthew John.